So this is the chord structure. The way this works, and you'll find this in any modern chord setup, you have the lyrics, you have the chord that you're supposed to play with the lyrics, and this tells you essentially how you're supposed to play the music. So in this case, the piece, the music, the song, so we have G minor, or C minor, and then D. If you were to play that, this chord would be G minor, C minor, and then probably an inverted D chord. And you'll notice it repeats over and over and over again. The way harmony has evolved into the modern day, in order to hold your attention, I think for Spotify and Apple Music and YouTube Music, the way that you get paid is that people have to listen to a minimum of something like 20 to 30 seconds of the music. So there needs to be some sort of hook, some sort of tag, some sort of repeated line to get your attention in order to hold it long enough that you'll listen so that the artist and the publisher get paid. The way that music is innovated on today, you have these chords, G, C, D, G, C, D, G, C, D, over and over again, and it'll be layered with either different lyrics or different rhythms. Harmony today versus harmony then. Why is harmony much simpler today than it was compared to, let's say, 80 plus years ago? This is not an economics class. Let me throw a little economics at you, see what you all think. Maybe this idea will resonate. What is the purpose of recording music and then putting it on a platform? Make money. What is the system, the economic system that we live in today? Capitalism, okay? Which means that we are run by a marketplace where people are competing, right? If you are making music to make money, you're going to adapt to the economic requirements of your time. And I'm not here to make an anti-capitalist or pro-capitalist argument, but I'm simply acknowledging that you have to adapt to the economics of your time. So in today's marketplace, if you wish to sell your music, you're going to go to, like you said, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. You have your major companies that you have to distribute your music through. And you have to go through a publisher, and there's a whole thing. In order to get paid, like I said earlier, you have to have a minimum of 20 to 30 seconds of your music listened to. After that, you won't get paid anything. It doesn't really matter. The way that you're going to hook people's attention is by making the music as short as possible. Why? Because you can release more music to get more money. So if let's say I release an album that has 3 10-minute songs, I'm going to get paid for the first 30 seconds of those 3 10-minute songs that people listen to, assuming if they listen to it at all for 10 minutes. It's just crazy nowadays. I could do that, or I could take that same concept and I could make, let's say, 30 minute-and-a-half to 2-minute songs and get paid in addition to all the the music that I'm releasing. There's more financial incentive for me to put that kind of music out. How many people are familiar with the band Queen? Bohemian Rhapsody, Freddie Mercury. Probably the most famous song they ever released, or one of the most famous songs they ever released, was Bohemian Rhapsody, which, if you listen to it, it's about a 6.5 minute song. This was a crazy idea, even in the 80s, to release something of that length. Why? Well, because who's going to listen to 6 minutes of music where you don't have repeating chord structures, repeating lyrics? It's much more complex than we're accustomed to listening to. And yet, they had a vision, they put it out, and it's one of the most famous songs today. So there is a marketplace for these types of ideas, but for the most part, most of the music you're going to be listening to is going to be operating off of like a 3-4 chord structure at most in order to keep your attention. Because realistically, you're probably not going to listen to a song for more than 3 minutes. Part of this is the way we're conditioned, how many people use TikTok or Instagram Reels. But if it doesn't hook you within that first 5 to 10 seconds, you're just like, oh, done, done. And you don't have that ability anymore. You're robbed of that ability to sit down and allocate your attention towards these certain things. So in one sense, one of the reasons why I think music is structured the way it is today is because everybody's competing for your attention. Your attention is a valuable commodity, obviously, because it's going to get people paid. So if I can rob you of your attention span, if I can rob you of that 10 to 30 second window, then I have now a financial incentive to behave according to this marketplace and this structure.